Okay guys, so one of the things that kind of Jay commented on, and I sort of noticed when Jay pointed out, is our arm position. So as we're pummeling into here, a lot of us at the moment are going into here with this arm position. Yeah. So remember what we were sort of talking about before, where if our arms in that position, you can potentially break it. So our hand needs to always go up. And this is why as well, from an attacking point of view, if Jay comes into, come closer, okay, so I'm going to pummel in, I'm using my feet to get in here, this hand comes up nice and high, okay, this makes it a lot harder for Jay to get his second pummel, okay, so it makes it really hard, because he's going to put his arm in a position where his arm's there, and that's not a strong position for Jason, okay, if my arm's in this position, it's always easy to get your underhook, so it kind of prevents the second underhook going in. You can do this as part of the flow as well, so we can go 3, so 1, 2, 3, and that hand goes up, and now we're a bit more attached, okay? So we're going to look at this hand and kind of some of the things that it can do. So you see how high it is? It's on that bony bit on the back, which is called the scapula, okay? So from this position, I'm going to attach my palm onto the hand. So I'm not grabbing, but it's just kind of pushing in a little bit. It's not hugging in. Okay, so it's not like a little hug, it's just attaching, okay? So, I want to manipulate Jay's posture, okay? So what I'm going to do is the same leg, and we go back to that puppet analogy, is going to step, and as soon as I do that, I'm going to pull my hand down. Okay, so here, to start breaking the posture, okay? Because the elbow's still in a good position, this is where it makes it easier to start going into your body lock positions, okay? I'll switch the position, guys. So here, like a puppet. Pull down, and it's really important to pull down, not just across. Because I want Jason's weight to be loaded on this side. Okay, here, and pull. Now it's much easier to get a second underhook and get my body locked. Okay? And that's the job. Okay, so you can do like 3, so 1, 2, 3, and the person who's going, hand nice and high, elbow and foot's attached, so as I pull, and then I'm going to go underneath and get my body lock, okay? Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, have a look at kind of one of the finishing positions, using the underhook, and this kind of in direction posture break, so again, I'm pulling down, making sure that his posture is broken down. This hand's going on the inside. Now, when we get the underhook, what I'm not doing is lifting. I don't want to try and lift this person in this position. Okay, so this hand goes just above the butt cheeks, and my head is going to go into the chest. So this is where we create the fold. Okay, because my head's driving in and my hips are pulling through. And that's where we're going to get into that position where we can kind of just fold them down. I use this a lot now. The days of kind of all the lovely shots and the ankle picks and things that I used to do, they're not there as much. Knees are as quick, but this is a fundamental thing that I use an awful lot. And if you watch people like Habib and a lot of the guys who are coming through like Kamzat and those guys, they use the body lock an awful lot. A lot, because it's good, it's a good solid thing to have in your arsenal. So all we're doing at the moment is creating an opportunity to get underhooks. If we go to the other side, sorry. That's the key. Just creating that little bit of a position to get that hand through. Okay, get your grip here against the chest and just fold and just take them down nice and steady. Okay, nice and easy. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, guys. So just a couple of quick things. So just going around and people asking some really good questions. So if I do get into this position here where I've got my body lock, his response will be to take his hip back. Okay. So if I don't put my head in the right position, he kicks his hip back and he drives his hip. That's going to be really difficult. Okay. So what we do in this kind of position is we just adopt we go on an angle. So if he kicks his hip back, he's fighting off. If I keep my body lock, but it's that's going to help. If for any reason he starts going over to my head, like to headlock me, I'm just going to go out and take the back. Okay, and it's the body lock that gives us all that good stuff. And you will get a few people try to wrap around and grab your head. Even at high level or kind of like high amateur level in the UK, we see it a lot, people going for a headlock. Joe, who before before she moved to America. The last fight with her opponent used the headlock all the time. Used it for like a little bit of a hip, what's called a hip toss, but we kind of prepared for that, and we made sure that we had that in our arsenal to, as soon as that arm creeps over, we took the back and then ended up doing some good stuff from there. So next thing we're going to look at is same thing, underhook, break that posture, but instead of going under, I'm going to go over to an overhook. Okay. So Mark's just pointing something out, which this is also called a whizzer. I never call it a whizzer from stood up, and I didn't realise that until Mark asked me that question. Yeah, I call this just an overhook. Okay, so an overhook goes over the arm, underhook goes under the arm. Okay, so once I've got into this position and I've brought his posture, because I'm using that shoulder pressure across the top, this outside hand's going to go across the back of the head, and then I'm going to go into a figure four. Okay, so it's not going to keep the position for ages, even though it's a strong position, but just long enough for me to touch your knee. He's going to put his hand in front, just so I get a little bit of that impact. Okay, so same thing, going for an underhook form. Yeah, I'm going to break his structure by using that little bit of a pull, but instead of going under, because Jason's maybe made it harder to get my underhook, I'm going to go to the side, drop my shoulder, and then just have that hand in a figure four position. Yeah, from here, outside leg touches the knee. Okay, and we'll talk about why it's the outside leg in a second. Okay, so the only adaptation we're doing now, instead of doing that, we do that and drop our shoulder. Be nicer with that shoulder, because it can be a bit of a bugger. It can hurt after a little bit. Give it a go. 1, 2, 3.